So you're thinking about moving to Toronto and you don't know where to live. You've heard about our suburbs, perhaps Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, Burlington, Pickering, Vaughan, Orangeville. I mean, there's so many, and you don't know if any of these will be perfect for you or they may all just suck, right? So in this video, I'm going to cover all of the Toronto area, share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, areas that I would live in, areas I would choose not to live in. And I'm going to cover the whole area. The goal of this video is to really give you a wide angle perspective of the Greater Toronto area so that you can figure out which pocket or neighborhood or city is right for you. And we're going to get into that right now. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Nasira Jamal and I'm part of the Canada Realty group right here in the Greater Toronto area. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living, working, playing, eating, sleeping, and even the neighborhoods that comprise of the Greater Toronto area, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn your notification on so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Honestly, I get calls every day from people who are moving here or relocating here, and I absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about moving into the area or relocating, then make sure you either give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. You can even send a pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of me, day, nights, evenings, or weekends, I've got your back when you're moving into the Greater Toronto area. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to really dive deeper into a couple of areas just so that you can get an idea of where things are in relation to Toronto. Now, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, Toronto is, this area here. However, when we talk about the Greater Toronto area, it encompasses a lot of the other towns and cities. And today, in this video, I'm going to go over Toronto, Mississauga, and Brampton. Now, if you have any questions regarding these areas, you're moving or you're relocating to the area, make sure you comment in the comment box below and ask your questions. If you want to know something particular about a neighborhood or the area, I'm happy to answer those questions for you. Let me zoom right into Toronto. So over here, what you will find is sort of the downtown core when we speak about Toronto. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, we have over 40 hospitals that are located in the Greater Toronto area. And the main ones will be located in the downtown core. So you've got the Women's Hospital, you've got Mount Sinai, you've got the Children's Sick Kids, you've got the Cancer Hospital, which is called Princess Margaret. So there's lots of different hospitals within the Toronto, in the downtown, area. What I would like to talk about is the areas where people tend to live, right? Like, where is it that people love? The beaches here, people like living here. These are people really that, a lot of them don't have cars. In the area here, a lot of these homes either don't have parking or they have very narrow lots where, you could probably get one small car in. Some have garages, most of these houses don't. So you want to just kind of make a note of that. If you're in this area and you have a car, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to park it. Now, one of the downfalls in Toronto is the lack of parking, and you'll hear this from most people, whether they live there or they're coming down to work. Parking is really a premium, right? So you want to be really well aware of that. And then we've got these other areas like the Distillery District. This is a very historic area. There are homes in here. There's also condominiums. There's a lot of condos that have been built, sort of along this area here. And you'll find that we kind of have lost a lot of our waterfront because of the development of condominiums. And you're going to get sort of in the downtown core the most choice. If you're looking at condominium living, then you're going to be able to really, get access to that and have lots of choice. So you could be closer to the water, like off Queens Quay, sort of that area off Lakeshore. Or if you're sort of in sort of deeper into the downtown core, you're going to get some beautiful new buildings as well, but a little bit cheaper because you're not on the water, right? So that is something that you want to make a note of. This is Kensington Market here, a very popular area for people, and you'll find that a lot of people even come to Kensington Market even if they live outside of the Toronto core. This is a great spot for in the summer, especially. We find that a lot of people will come here. Little Portugal here, you'll see. Lots of people, Europeans live here. Although, for us, it's such a diverse community that we have lots of people sort of living here. But what you'll find in Little Portugal is shops and restaurants that are more Portuguese owned. You'll get a lot of ethnic foods here. This is one of the most expensive areas, Roncesvalles, and close to High Park, one of the best parks in Toronto. You've got hiking here, you've got trails, picnicking, some water area. There's also High Park Zoo. And so if you're going to be living in the downtown core, there's lots of things to do. But I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of where things are. This is the St. Lawrence Market. Again, a really popular area, lots of shops in here. There's also like a flea market kind of space here, so you can get antiques and things like that. There is Cabbagetown. So I want to just highlight, like I said, I'm just going to be highlighting some of the areas where you will find lots of residential. It is expensive. So, when you're in the downtown core, you are paying a premium to be there. But, Cabbagetown is another area. Lots of families, young families live here. And it's a great spot. You're close to the Don Valley Parkway, which is, going sort of, if you go up Don Valley, you're going to get into, towards the north, you're going to get into access into Scarborough and then Richmond Hill, Vaughan, that area. And then to get to the west end, you're going to use the Gardner Expressway. Okay, and this will take you to Brampton, Mississauga, and that's where I'm going to head over because I want to really show you those two areas in this particular video. So you're kind of getting an insight, a deeper look at Toronto, if you're working in Toronto, and perhaps you're thinking of living in Mississauga, but your job is in Toronto. The commute here, you can use public transportation, you can use a vehicle, you can carpool. Typically, you can use the highways getting down. The Queen Elizabeth is right here. You can use, if you're in the Port Credit area of Mississauga, which is South Mississauga actually, you can use Lakeshore to get down to Toronto. And, you've got, again, the public transportation, which of course, a lot of people will use that as well. So what I want to show you is where you're going to find more of the condominiums in the Square One area. This is where the mall is. It's a big mall here called Square One. Around this area, you're going to have professional buildings, and then you're going to have a lot of condominiums. This is Mississauga Celebration Square. A lot of festivals happen here. There's a lot of festivities in this area. Of course, things are not happening because of COVID, but COVID aside, this is sort of the happening place in Mississauga. You have lots of restaurants. You have access to, the highways again. So here you see Highway 403. Here, Ontario is the main road, really linking Brampton to Mississauga. And as you go down here, Ontario, it'll link to the Queen Elizabeth Way, the QEW as it's called, and also Lakeshore Boulevard. So this is, again, a main artery in and out of Mississauga. And what I wanted to, I'm just going to make this map a little bit smaller. What I wanted to show you is the different areas. So here, Mississauga Valley, older homes, you get townhomes here. You will get condominium townhomes, as well as, of course, your normal detached and semi-detached properties. A little bit cheaper. It is an older section, so that's a good pocket to be in if you're looking at staying close to the Square One area. You also have in this area called Arundel. Again, a lot of Mississauga is older. I mean, there are some newer developments, but it's still pretty much an older city. So Arundel is another spot. Again, you're going to find lots of families living here. This is going to give you access to Erin Mills Parkway. And this is, again, another main artery. It actually is closer to the Credit Valley Hospital. So if you're looking at, where's the hospital in relation to where you are going to choose to live, perhaps you, need to be near a hospital. Maybe you have aging parents that are with you, or you, have some medical concerns and you want to be near a hospital. This is the main hospital in Mississauga. Actually, I take my son here quite a lot. There is a doctor's office off Eglinton here, a professional building where there are general practitioners and doctors, physiotherapists in this area. I find that, there is a wait list for getting a doctor here, but you can definitely get on the wait list. And there's a website that I'm going to put in for if you're coming into the area and you're looking for a doctor. But this is, again, there's a professional building here close to the hospital. It's a very, very good hospital, high end. They have the MRIs, the CT scans, ultrasounds. They have a big emergency department, and also a very good neurological department here. My son actually has a neurological condition. So we use Credit Valley a lot. When he was younger, we were at the Hospital for Sick Kids in Toronto, but we go here now for his normal visits, plus any emergency types of visits, we will go to Credit Valley. Again, I want to just mention about the hospital, just so you know, if you are, let's say, requiring an ambulance and you live, let's say, sort of in the Toronto area, they are not going to bring the ambulance to this hospital. You're going to go to the closest hospital that they service, depending on where you live. And so that's just something that you want to make a note of. So I want to point out Cooksville here. There's some condominiums here close to the Cooksville GO station. You will find here a lot of the ethnic shops. Really, you've got off Dundas, you've got access to the ethnic food shops, restaurants, haircutting places. It's really accessible. We find that a lot of our clients that come here, they tend to pick the Cooksville area just because of its access. A lot of my clients, when they first get here, don't have cars. And so this is a really good spot to be in. You can really walk to almost anything. And you also have the Cooksville GO station here. One of the more expensive areas I want to point out here is called Mineola. This is a very ritzy, expensive part close to Credit. You have lots of multi-million-dollar homes in here. There is tear down streets where they're tearing down the older homes and building really mega mansions, as I call them, but it's a great spot to live in. Again, price point is higher, but you do have more access sort of to the lake area. You've got access to Port Credit, lots of really good restaurants and shops, boutiques and things like that here. And then the other area I wanted to point out for you guys in Mississauga was Lorne Park. So very, very expensive when you say, if you're in the Lorne Park area, a very high-end area. But again, access to the lake, you've got access to Lake Shore. This is a very popular park, Jack Darling Memorial Park. There's also some very, very good schools in this area. This is Lorne Park Estate. So in here, you're going to be multi-million-dollar homes. So this is a great spot as well. As long as your pocketbook can afford it. So now that I've highlighted Mississauga, I'd like to take you over and show you Brampton. So just as an overview, you can see this is where Toronto is. Mississauga is to its west, and then a little northwest, you get to Brampton. And you're about an hour from Toronto, give or take, depending on traffic and the weather. And you're about, I would say 30 to 40 minutes to Mississauga, again, depending on traffic. If you're at the top end of Mississauga, yes, of Brampton, it's gonna take you a half hour or longer to get to Mississauga. But if you're, sort of in this Peel Village area, it's about a 15-minute drive right to Square One. Again, traffic is something that you have to take into consideration. So I do want to point out Peel Village. This is a very popular area in Brampton where people love to live. Houses are mostly detached, and you get bungalows here. You will get semi-detached homes. There is a couple of rental buildings here off Bartley Bull, and there are some townhouses as well. A little bit older section. Actually, it's quite a bit older than some of the other newer areas that I'm going to show you. But Peel Village is close to what is called, we've got a Shoppers World little plaza. It's actually a renovated mall, an indoor mall. It's in this area here. You've also got a bus station in this spot here. So accessibility is very, very good. You've got the Brampton Golf Club. So if you're, into golf, this is an amazing spot to be in. And it's also really, really close to Main Street. This Main Street turns into Huron, Ontario, which gets into Mississauga. But Main Street in Brampton is going to give you access to the downtown area, which is right here. So you've got Gage Park, which is one of the highlights for Brampton. It has a skating rink, outdoor skating rink in the winter, a beautiful splash pad for the kids in the summer. So that's why people like living in Peel Village. They're close to the downtown area. They're close to these highways. So Highway 410 is not very far. And you've got access to a lot of the public transportation. Now, there are a lot of schools in this area as well. So, for those that have young kids, this is a great spot to be in. Also, you have the Sheridan College here. And this is, again, for those that have children that are in post-secondary, this particular area is a great area. If you're also looking at maybe if you have a house that might have some rental or a basement apartment or something like that, people will be in this area to rent to the students that go to Sheridan College. So very popular area, Peel Village. Let's talk about pricing here. You're looking at 900,000 plus. Typical bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a lot of bungalow style homes, but it's 900,000 usually for the smaller ones, and then upwards $1 million plus for some of the larger with the larger lots. And this area actually, because there's a beautiful park here as well, people love being in this area. And so if you're thinking about where to kind of check out, if you're coming into Brampton, Peel Village is definitely one I would shortlist. I want to take you sort of North Brampton because I want to show you sort of the newer sections that you're going to be able to kind of look at. If you're thinking, well, I don't want to be in an older section, I want to be where the new homes are. We have new buildings still going up, new construction. There's lots of homes going up in this area. However, you are, up here, there's lots of new buildings going up here in this section north of Wanless. The thing is, you are pretty far from the highway, and getting to the highway, if you're up this way, you're looking at about a 15 to 20 minute drive, and that's if you don't have traffic to get to the 410. That's the only highway that's accessible to you. So if you're trying to get out of Brampton and perhaps use the highway to get to Mississauga, get to downtown Toronto, and you're using a car, you're going to be adding at least 15 to 20 minutes to your drive. And I have to caution you, Highway 410 post-COVID, of course, let's just say COVID doesn't exist, right? So when you're coming down here at rush hour, it's a gridlock. Like starting at about 6:30 a.m., you're going to find traffic. Up until about 9:30, it's really bumper to bumper trying to get out because there are so many new subdivisions up in this area that all of these people that are using cars and wanting to get to the highway are using that one road, which really is the main artery. So either it's Wanless, it's Sandalwood, or down here it's Beauvais. Okay, so Beauvais is one of the main roads to get in and out of Brampton. But, again, if you're living up north in these north sections of Brampton, you are going to find that traffic is going to be a bit of a problem, as well as accessibility just to the highway, right? And I want to just point out in my other videos, I've actually talked about this area, Cassie Campbell area, beautiful community center here, lots of things to do. If you have young children, there's lots and lots of parks. You can see Brampton is really known for its parks and parkettes. It's really all over. And then the community center. So we typically have in Brampton a community center in almost every section that you may want to consider in Brampton to live in. You're going to be really happy that there are community centers where you can take the children to, you know, skating lessons, swimming lessons, court sports, different things like even small gyms that are included in the community center. So that's great. So then so those are the newer sections there. I want to go over here just to bring this down a little bit. Bramalea is the first area of Brampton that was developed, and you know, an older section, about 40, 50 years old. Huge park here called Chinguacousy Park. You will get fireworks here during Canada Day. You will have, you know, lots of different things going on here. There's always something in the summer at Chinguacousy Park. There's also volleyball courts here, sand volleyball court set up. So if you are a big volleyball player, there's actually a volleyball league that you can join, and this is where they play. This is Queen Street. This is Highway 7. So this actual road leads you to Vaughan. And today I'm not going to talk about Vaughan. I'm going to do that in a separate video, but this is the road that connects you to Vaughan and to Brampton downtown. So this again is your main artery going in and out of Brampton. So Bramalea Woods, what you're going to find in this section are smaller schools. So the schools are not going to be, you know, in the thousands of kids as in the newer sections. You will find that those schools are much, much larger. You do have a French immersion school in this area if that is something that, you know, is important for you or the type of school you're looking for. Lots of bungalow style homes here, bigger lots. You're looking at an average of about, I would say about 750,000 plus. But you are going to be happy in this section if you like being close to the Bramalea City Centre Mall, as well as close to the main artery, which is Queen Street and 410. 410 is at your doorstep when you live in Bramalea Woods. This is, or in the Bramalea area. Bramalea Woods is actually an area where you will find larger homes, larger lots. They are $1 million plus, but these are, a lot of them have been renovated, and a great spot if you're looking at, you know, having those types of homes that have a lot of character, but yet inside they've been modernized. And then I want to take you to one of the areas that I lived in when I first moved to Brampton in the first 5 years. I want to take you to, I'm just going to move over here, sorry, Castlemore. So Castlemore has grown tremendously. So we've got North Castlemore and South Castlemore, and you will find homes here $1 million plus, lots of large estate homes, especially in this subdivision here off Countryside Road. You're going to find large homes like 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 square feet. The thing I find here though, as much as the homes are large, what's disappointing a little bit is that the homes are really close together and the lots are not that huge for having such big homes. The backyards are, you know, they're average. Like I wouldn't say they're huge by any stretch. And that's something that for a lot of my clients, that when I showed them this area, they decided not to pick this area because the backyards were small, even though the houses were so large. So that's something to kind of note, you know, if you're looking for bigger yard space, this section may not be for you because again, you know, the lots are a bit smaller. This area here is older Castlemore. You will find the lots a little bit bigger. Of course, these are detached homes, a lot of them. There are some semi-detached, there are some streets that have townhomes. But for the most part, you know, you're going to find Castlemore, you know, with the larger homes, a little bit larger with backyards. The predominant builder in here was Mattamy, although I know that there are other builders that built, but a lot of Castlemore was initially built by the Mattamy brand. So really nice homes. They have a lot of character. And again, in about 15, 20 years ago, they did have larger lots than they do now. So this is a great spot. Now, for a lot of people that live in this area, I find are those that really want access to the Vaughan area, which is, going down here on Queen Street, as I mentioned. I will sort of make this a little bit smaller, just so you can see. Woodbridge is considered part of Vaughan. And as you go, further in, you'll see there's Vaughan Mills Mall. But I will do a separate video on Vaughan because I want to talk about sort of the housing there. It's a little bit different. So this is why people pick this area. The east side of Brampton is to be close to Vaughan. And then they have access to the 407 and the 427. Okay, so let's talk about the Brampton Hospital. Now, this is our new hospital here. I mean, it's been a number of years now, but the old hospital used to be off Queen Street, and I will show you. It's now actually become a medical center. There is some, emergency care, not emergency care, sorry, like walk-in kind of healthcare center there. But our main hospital in Brampton is right here called William Osler Health System. And it's a massive hospital, lots of homes around it. So you've got Professor's Lake here, and then you've got sort of this section here where it has been built out tremendously. As you can see, as I'm moving my map, all of these are residential subdivisions, and Brampton has gotten really, really busy with that. So, all centered around the hospital. There's lots, if you need to be close to a hospital, or you want to, or you work at the hospital and you want to find a home in this area, there's a lot of options. And then the last area that I really want to address in this video is Professor's Lake. Now, we do have a man-made lake here. It is a beautiful spot in the summer. There's boating, hiking, picnicking. A lot of schools come here to do different activities. There's the special needs groups that bring the young adults here as well for different things in the summer. Professor's Lake, there are homes right around it. And though they're older, I have found that lately, a lot of them that I've shown have been renovated. So you get, you'll get, in some of these homes, you get a lot of stairs. So you will be, if that's not something that you want to sort of get into, on the other side, there is homes that are just regular, sort of detached. But some of these are 3 stories. So, depending on what you're looking for, there's lots of townhomes right by the water here as well. But it's a great pocket to be in. Again, it's close to Queen Street, Chinguacousy Park. This area here is an older section. You will find, actually, while I'm on it, I will show you. In this area, you've got streets that are, the M section. So you'll see all the streets here with the letter M. And then down here, you'll see all the streets here in the letter H. So these are sections. This is how Brampton was constructed, was these streets in the H section. And then we have the M section. And up here, we have the N section. We have the G section on this side. So, as you get to familiarize yourself with Brampton, you'll notice that in the old section of Brampton and Bramalea, their streets were alphabetized. So this is the E section, here is the C section, and this is the Bramalea City Center Mall right here. So it's the center of it all, where you've got your busing, you've got access to the highway, you've got professional buildings, you've got a Brampton Civic Library is here. So it is a great pocket, older section, you won't find new builds in the Bramalea section. But a lot of people that live here also love the fact that they can access the GO station that's off Bramalea and Steeles, which is just down here on this side. So this is sort of the overview of the different section in Brampton. If you have any questions, definitely put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them if they're regarding any of the areas we've talked about. If there's if there's a particular area you want me to cover that I didn't do in this video, just mention it. I'll be happy to do that. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That will really help get this video out to people that are moving into the area and that this information can help. So that's it for this video with the map. So if you're thinking about moving to the Greater Toronto area and you want to either start looking at properties or you want to figure out what neighborhoods are good for you, you've got to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or you can even send that pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of me, day, nights, evenings, weekends, I've got your back when you're moving into the Greater Toronto area. Until the next video, I'll catch you later.